everybody, welcome to the Penny's Performance Gumby Circuit Ppgc. What we're going to do today, just basic mobility, something that's great for you to do either on your off days. You can add it as your warm-up, you can add it as a cool down, you can kind of essentially have it as a workout. What we're going to be doing is we're going to go through a series of moves. For many of you who've worked with me in the past, you're going to see a lot of things that you've seen before, maybe a few new things, maybe a different selection of how everything works. We're going to go through and do about 5 reps or 5 movements per exercise or per move, however you want to look at it. As you can see here, I'm holding a ski pole. I am not a skier, but what you will need is you'll need a dowel of some sort, and I did not happen to have my dowel handy, so I figured just to show you how easy it is to substitute with something that's of length of, probably a good 4 feet. You can make it work. So what we'll do is I'm going to put this off the side. We'll use it soon. We're going to start out first. I'll go through, I'll do some counting, but at the same time I'll do some explanation as well. So I really want you to focus more so on the form, listening to me. If you end up doing 8 reps on one side, 5 reps on another, that's perfectly fine. You can always balance it out. So what we're going to start off with is some hip flexion mobility. This one you see basically in every video I create and just about everything we do, and the main reason is most of you are in a seated position more so than what we should be, and so therefore your hips are always shortened, so all we're going to do is elongate them out. So what I want you to do is have a nice long stance. A lot of people always kind of cut this short and then they grab a hold of the leg and you're right on that kneecap, so if you elongate yourself a little bit more and you grab a hold, you'll kind of be on top of that kneecap, so just ahead of it, so you should be perfectly fine. You can always grab some wall onto something if you need, or you can always advance it a little bit and grab on with both hands. So every time you lean, you're going to lean, it's all active. Pull that heel good and hard towards that glute, then come on back for 5, pull it, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, if you want to extend, do 8, do 10, feel free. On the other side, grab a hold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a modified version if you need. Really focus on squeezing that glute. Just lean for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next we'll lay onto our back. Doing a cook hip lift, so you're going to take one knee, you're going to hug it tight into the chest. The other leg, you're going to drive your weight through that heel. You're going to lift to what that glute allows, then lower back down for 5. Really keep that knee tight of the leg that is bent. 4, 3, 2. The only basic modification for this, let's keep going on the other side, is really just to not lift as high. You basically want to keep those hips nice and square, lift, and again what that glute allows. We got 2, and we got 1. Next, since we're down here, we're going to go into some supine leg whips, getting those inner thighs nice and active. So lift it on up just like so. You're going to take that top leg straight up. You want to have it basically as straight as you can. You're going to let it fall out without those hips rotating. Move it back up for 5, let it fall, whip for 4, 3, 2, and 1. It will then switch sides, lift it on up, leg up, let it fall, whip 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, since we're on our backs, we'll stay here. Let those arms go into a T position. We're going to let those knees fall side to side. Hips coming off the ground, shoulders stay connected. So just let them fall to one side. Bring it up and let it fall to the other. Again, this is active. Back to the left, to the right. To modify this one, again, just don't go as deep. You can just kind of cut it short depending on what your body allows. And make sure those shoulders stay connected to the ground. We'll do 1 more per side. Back to the left and to the right. Good. Next, what we're going to do, hopefully this is a good angle for you to see, we're going to get both legs straight We're going to then take your right knee up. You're just going to rotate, fall over, have your right arm meet your left. You're basically nice and straight here. You're going to then do an external rotation, reaching out, getting a stretch across that chest, feeling a little bit in that back. Then come back for 5, reach for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going up to the other side. We'll switch angles. Roll over. Reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll it from here onto the stomach. We'll slowly start to bring it up. We'll do one of my favorites, a yoga push-up. Many of you really can get advantage from this. The extension through those hips helps to get those shoulders nice and engaged. Lots of times we have rounded shoulders, so the shelf's kind of activated, so you can keep it nice and mobile. So get set in that push-up position, full or modified. Lower on down, push up, hold at the top, and extend. Get good extension. Back to the start. Lower down, push up. Extend for 4, lower down, push up, extend for 3, lower down, push up, extend 2, lower down, push up, extend 1 from here, just drop to the knees. We're going to then bring it up, do some T-spine rotations. So we're going to bend at the hips and knees, we're going to rotate. Thing I want everyone to pay attention to, and I notice a lot of people do this many different ways. Hips and knees are bent, back's flat, arms are straight down. When you rotate, you follow that thumb up and always make sure that that palm is facing in front of you. Okay, so rotate with that right, get good rotation. With that left for 5, right, left for 4, right, left 3, right, left 2, right, and left 1. Next we're going to utilize dowel, broomstick, whatever it is that you may have. We're going to do what are called shoulder dislocations. So you're basically going to have it to whatever width that you need. You're going to stand nice and tall, bring the arms up and over, let them dislocate over, and back for 5. Up and over, back 4. Try to keep those arms nice and straight, prevent from those elbows bending. 3, up, back 2, up, back 1. Now we're going to do an alternating. By alternating, you're going to take that right up, bring it over, bring that left over, bring that left back, right for 5. Right, left, 4. Right, left. What we're really doing here is, again, we're getting those shoulders nice and mobile. Your goal when you're doing any type of mobility is to get the joints that need to be mobile. So that would essentially be your ankles, your hips, and your shoulder. Next, we're going to do some pushaways. So, grabbing whatever part of the dowel you want, place it into the palm, and the other arm just grabs on. You're going to basically take it from here, press away, getting a good stretch, and back for 5. Away, 4. Up, keep those shoulders relaxed. As you can see, my shoulder stays nice and relaxed. And 1 more. Switch sides. Push it away. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now that those shoulders are nice and mobile, we'll do some Y squats. So this is just going to help engage that lower body and get those upper back muscles nice and engaged. Try to keep those arms lined up with the ears. From here, squat it on down, come up for 5. Really engage those upper back muscles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, into some basic deadlifts. Chest nice and tall. Activate those hamstrings and glutes. Take that dowel, glue it to the leg. Bring it on down. Up. Squeeze those glutes. Down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can take the broomstick, you can put it away, or ski pole, whatever it is you're using. Grab some wall. We're going to do some wall slides. So you're going to focus on having everything lined up. So those hips, shoulders, head are touching the wall as long as the arms are touching the wall as well. When you slide the arms, you're going to slide them up, bring them down as far as you can, keeping them connected. So don't let them lose the position. As soon as they lose it, that's where you need to adjust. So slide it up, down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do one more mobility prior to taking it back down for some more active stretching. So basic ankle mobility, focus on the front leg. Front leg, you want to bend at that knee, getting it as close to that wall as you can, and coming back. If it's too easy, come back a little further each time. So bend it forward, back 5, 4, 3, 2, switch sides, hinge it, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, if you want, pause the video, restart, go back through so you have that active mobility. Now what we're going to do is some more static stretching. So the first one is going to be a basic hip flexor stretch. So everyone knows this hip flexor stretch here. We're going to go a little bit deeper. You're going to need some flat surface. Okay? You're going to start off with both legs bent. You're going to take one knee, it's back right up to the wall. This will be definitely a little uncomfortable for some, so if you have to do that basic hip flexor, that's fine. Then from there, take that leg up, and then all you do is stand and slightly lean forward. You don't need to do much because you're obviously getting a fairly significantly deep stretch here. So we're just going to hold this here. We'll hold it for only about 15 seconds. You can obviously hold it for longer. You can do 30 seconds per side twice through. These are just some good exercises, good stretches for you to have post-workout. You can again do it if you're completing this mobility circuit as a whole. Bring it on down, switch sides. Again, get that leg nice and leveraged back there. Then sit on up, and then stretch it on out. So obviously, as you'll notice, it's best to have as best of flexibility as possible. And so again, if you need a slight toe cramp, then next, one of my other favorites, focusing on some glute mobility. So we're going to be in the push-up position. You're going to take a knee forward. So while you're right here, for some of you, this may actually be a little uncomfortable and maybe a little too far for you to go, which is perfectly fine. But what I want you to focus on is sitting nice and tall, hips square forward. A lot of people kind of sit down like so. Well, what I want you to focus on is that good tall posture. While you're here, just hold it, feel a stretch in that glute. When we get to the other side, I'll show you a little bit more of an advanced move to kind of get a little bit deeper. But this right here should be plenty for most. Again, if we're going to be loosening up those hip flexors, it's always good to keep those glutes nice and mobile as well. So let's switch sides. So as you come to this next side, what I'll show you is you can grab a hold of that heel, you can slightly pull it out, so you're almost forming close to a 90-degree bend at that knee, right here to here. Some of you may be able to go to that degree, some may not. This just helps to kind of extend that stretch a little bit, get a little bit deeper, push you a little bit more in terms of flexibility, almost if we're doing splits, which that is not going to be in today's series of videos. So from here, we'll go and stretch into that child's pose, getting that mid, or getting basically the entire back. Get a good stretch, really sit deep into it. Focus on your breathing here. And again, hold it longer if you need. Come on up on those knees, roll the shoulders down and back. We're going to then take it, extend those arms down and back, get a chest, stretch of that chest, hinge forward at those hips, keeping those knees fairly straight. You can slightly bend if you need, but our focus here is going to be a stretch, basically the entire posterior chain, which is hitting hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and then we're also going to stretch into those shoulders slightly, and that chest. Again, we're just holding it here. From here, let those arms fall on down towards those toes. You can let your back round just a hair. Try to prevent too much rounding, but then again, depending on your level of flexibility, you may be able to fully stretch on down. This is obviously good. Hamstrings are always short as well, since we're in that seated position, again, as I'll mention often. So that's just shortening them, so that's why it's tough for a lot of people to reach down to your toes. So the more practice, the better you'll get. Next, take those arms, cross, extend forward, kind of reaching a little bit deeper, getting a stretch in that back. Slowly stand down up. Let those arms stretch nice and tall. Elongate that spine. Slight pull to your right. Keeping that mobility going. Back to your left. Back tall. Sweep those arms down. A few shoulder rolls. On back. Nice and tall. Okay, everybody. As I said, if you want, go back through this again. This is great to complete on off days, and definitely a good way to keep yourself nice and limber. Pick a few exercises, add them in pre and post workout, or just add them in as daily practice to help build that flexibility. Thank you. Take care.